Labour has the power to change the well-being of millions of people in the UK now that it is in government. It says that its power to change things is restricted by the amount of money that it has available to it. We can argue about that elsewhere. What I know is that very large numbers of changes in the law will cost it little or nothing at all. And one thing that will most certainly not cost it anything of any consequence is to change the law on no-fault evictions from private rented accommodation in the UK. Now, there are separate rules on this in Scotland and to some extent in Wales, but the principles set in England always influence behaviour everywhere. And it is important that Labour now makes it clear that it will go where the last Conservative government would not. And that is, it should end the principle of no-fault evictions from private rented accommodation. Now, I'm not saying that there should never be an occasion when a landlord should not be able to remove a tenant from a property. Quite clearly, there will be occasions when there is fault by a tenant. For example, persistent non-payment of rent has to be a reason why eventually a landlord can reclaim a property. And there must be a reason why a landlord should be able to reclaim a property, for example, in the event of the death of that landlord, or some other family occurrence which requires their circumstances to change and the property to be sold. But with those protections being noted, there should be protections for the tenant as well. Far too many no-fault evictions have been put in place simply for the benefit of the landlord who wants to up the rent unreasonably and get rid of current tenants to bring in new ones at a higher rate. That is not reasonable. It should not be allowed. In that case, Labour has to deliver what the Tories didn't. We have to see an end to the curse of no-fault evictions, which has seen far too many people, far too many young families and far too many children turfed out of their homes by landlords who don't care, who are only driven by the pursuit of profit, and whose lives as tenants have been blighted as a consequence. Come on, Labour, you can do this. Get on with it and do it as soon as possible. The people in this country expect it of you.